Donald Trump is calling for these hyper aggressive ICE raids all over the country. But right now, we're rightly focusing on what's going on in Charlotte because that's where they're hitting right now. And it's getting so bad that some people in the state Republicans think that they might actually flip the state from being quite purple and it can go back and forth to just being a blue state at this point. The former GOP governor, Pat McCrory, has been speaking out about how it's looking to people on the ground as these raids are going on. He said, from a PR and political standpoint, for the first time, immigration is maybe having a negative impact on my party. If I were the administration, I would be really emphasizing who they've arrested and the negative impact they've had on the community, but we're not hearing that. And geez, I wonder why they're not focusing on all the murderers they're getting. Maybe they're just shy, they're bashful. They don't want to seem like they're bragging too much, or maybe it's because that's not actually who's being arrested. Another Republican said the Charlotte raids were leaving a real sour aftertaste with voters. Is the price of doing this worth it? I don't see this cloud moving away from what will be in the voters' minds. And Representative Maria Salazar was speaking with Jake Tapper, pointed out that 70% of people ICE arrested in Georgia did not have a criminal record, saying, quote, ICE should be concentrating on the bad hombres, obviously a reference to one of the saddest moments in Trump's political history. It's not looking good. The fact that they keep hitting all these different cities, people don't think that it's helping them. And by the way, like you'd been telling them that would help with everything, with the cost of housing, the cost of everything. But like when you're telling us you're succeeding on immigration, and at the same time prices keep going up, you're convincing people that they're not actually linked. And that getting rid of migrants isn't actually going to improve people's lives. And you're making it worse for yourself because you're exaggerating the actual success you're having in deporting people. But to that, it was polled, people were asked, in terms of prices of inflation, Trump is making things sound, and 60% said better than they really are. That means he's lying to you about it. 27% say about as they really are. I think that's charitable. 13% of America thinks that Trump is making things sound worse than they really are. And I don't know what that means or who that would be. Who could possibly think that Trump is downplaying their success? But anyway, you can see his overall approval on the topic of the economy trending down very predictably, very regularly. It's already down to about 1 out of 3. And you can see that here, but also we've been talking about immigration. In this particular poll, CBS News, he's at 45% approval on the topic of immigration, and that's supposed to be his marquee topic, JR. But even that isn't working out for him anymore.
How are these dum-dums this detached from reality? So you're seeing right now that this guy's concerned about these immigration raids where they're attacking American citizens and other innocent folks, that they're attacking them, and that might stick in the minds of some voters. Yo, you mean destroying someone's life might stick in their minds? You mean snatching parents away from children as they cry and then running off and slamming them in the cars and taking off with them? It might stick in the brains of some voters. Do you realize that those voters that you're talking about, whose brains it might stick, they're humans and they have these lives. It's weird. They're so connected to their objectives, their demands, what they want to do to people. They have no idea that people would stick to remembering you coming and destroying their lives, destroying their lives. That's how little they think of someone else's life. They're like, oh, there's a couple of voters, as long as I keep fooling them. The objective of politicians is to fool people into thinking they care rather than doing things that prove they care. It's weird. What's the best way? Okay, let's think 4 different ways of how we can act like we give a damn. And then after that, maybe they'll be fooled. They're not fooled anymore. What do we do? Come on, man. It's easy.
The fundamental problem is they are incentivized to appeal to a variety of the worst types of people. Like the most racist, the most transphobic, the most Islamophobic, the most misogynistic. They're incentivized to try to appeal to those people because that gets you an audience in their media. That gets you through a primary. There's enough of those sorts of people to do that minor thing. That doesn't mean that's what everybody wants. That doesn't mean that's what a majority of people want. And thank God, by the way, I wouldn't want to live in that world. I wouldn't want to live in that country. But this is a reminder that people don't actually like seeing this. Sure, you could be like the top Republican saying we're going to deport every brown person, but that doesn't actually work out when you're actually doing it. People don't like that.